course, it's not gonna be like this. I have now put the sink on almost every wall. It's not gonna be like this. The shop jams all night long. It's the end of the day right now, so I'm just kind of doing a walk around here. We used our table right here to break the metal, to put the bend on it for the backsplash. I gotta do one more for that corner over there because it turns the corner, right? That's just bent so that it completely watershed. Got the table cleaned off, sanded the table today. Nowhere near good. It's got years and years more of sanding to be done to it. Hope we don't crease that. I don't think so. I think they're nice and safe. They were wet, so hope I left this open. No use in having cabinets if you don't put your stuff in it and close it up, right? Oh, we brought a deep freeze. Now, I'd like to have a way to heat and cool things. So, you know, like in there, I mean, you never know. Might have dry ice or stuff to, you know, dry ice is pretty good to put on metal to make it change size. And you got to keep the dry ice cold. Or parts, you know, you got, if we had a stove and a deep freeze, we can make things hot and cold. You know, make one side hot and one thing cold. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the deep freeze is going to stay or not, but it's sitting over there and it has the potential to stay. This little grinder right here is going to run just the valve stems, because I like to knock off the valve stems after we cut the stem heights. So that's what this is. I mean, it's just here, but yeah, so that's all that's for. So that one can be fairly clean. Still debating on whether or not I want to spend that $60 a piece metal and metal everything around the machine shop. Oh, I'd love to. 2 pieces there, 2 pieces there, there, and here. And then it would be all metal on the wall everywhere here. I would love that. And that Max Air that we got from Habitat from the salvage yard, I call it the home goods salvage yard. But we got that and it's so hilarious, 15 bucks. But we have this hose reel up here that me and Steven mounted up. We mounted it up there, but we didn't hook anything to it at all. I just used a 4x4 and bolted it through the rafters, the trusses. So we got that blue line. I'm just gonna run the blue line over there and tap ends right there, because that's air, the blue line's air up there. So yeah, so it worked out great. We didn't have to buy another jump. And that'll probably give us one more drop to put who knows where. I mean, really could be anywhere. But right now we're trying to focus on this spray cabinet room. I'm thinking that the walls need to come out at least 4 more feet, about with the backside of the big spray cabinet right there. That's where these walls need to extend to. And this needs to be a corner so that there's a wall. It'll be a wall right here. There won't be no walking across here. We will have to go around. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it'll be right here. A wall going there and over to there. Close all this off. Now, I don't know, we might put the sink on this side. Who knows? We're just, I mean, before we put it in, once we plumb all this in, because they all have drains. I mean, the sink has, it's got a heater over here. You pull this thing up. And you can flip this over. It's got a heating element down there. It's got that massive freaking pump. I can't wait to find out how much water that flows, what the heck the deal is with that. Because this side of the table is ridiculously heavy. But this is how we're setting it. Right on the little lip in it. And I just have the metal. I'm gonna let it rest right there. I'm not, well, there's gonna be a faucet, so the faucet will hold it up there. And then I'll put one, just a little screw right there. I want it to be very watershed. And then I'll probably put another screw right here. Well, it's not going here. I actually scratch all that. Because all I'm doing is I'm just trying to set it up in every different way so that When somebody asks, well, why didn't you put this over there? I can say, well, because of this, you know. So last night we had it set up on that wall. Now we got it set up on this wall. We got 2 more days, and then we'll have it figured out. But I really am kind of thinking that I like it on that wall right there. Like it'll be where the big spray cabinet is. And then all of the cleaners will be along the wall right here. If they fit, they're gonna be a pretty tight squeeze for the ultrasonic, the big spray cabinet, and the little one to be all right there. We'll have to move it, but it's just heavy. I think we might hopefully have some new feet coming. I think Don might have got some new feet. Either that or we're just gonna take them all off and I'll put them on something. We'll get some pipe. But the feet were only like 10 bucks a piece, but you have to order it and ship them and all that stuff. And from a restaurant supply place, there's no PayPal or nothing like that. It's like call them and order it. Yeah, we got all this other stuff going. Hopefully we remember. Found these chairs in the edge of town. Old ratty bastards. Yep, nothing else new going on here. Oh, except the tote that I cut. That is still R&D. Trying to figure out a way to flash this so that when you put the cover on, because right now you can lift the whole cage off and the top goes with it. I mean, the bottom does too, but once you put weight in it, the bottom would stay, and it would take 2 guys, 1 on each side, just to grab it and lift the cage up off, and then the half of the top of it stays with the cage. So when you take it off, then you have nothing on it, and it's just plastic to here. I'm liking that idea. You guys have to let us know what you think of these. I'm thinking. No, we don't know how much it's going to cost. That's what the cost will be to ship us your tote and to have me go through and basically run that tote through all this and clean it, machine it. I mean, because there'll be different price tiers, right? There's the one price tier of the absolute want-to-do-it-yourselfer. That's where, you know, I mean, I'll probably want to sell you the pistons and the rings. That way I can go ahead and make sure the in-gap clearances are good, make sure the pistons are all good, and let you put it all together. Another one would be if, say you want me to put the short block together and you want to put the heads on. Say you want to put the head, you want to just have a long block, you know? I mean, the price tier would change for all of that. But it would get you, the very bottom price tier would get every part you sent polished, cleaned, absolutely clean. Cac tubes, all that stuff, you know, everything gets cleaned, which I would like to make that happen. So we're working on it right now. So, can't believe we're doing this. We have a lot of stuff set up in the shop. All this stuff. We got the equipment, washroom. So, we set this up here, and I think what I'm getting at is we're about to empty all this stuff and move everything out of here right now. Even the room. The room's going away too. All that's going away. Everything's going away. We're gonna push it all outside. And the cabinets. We need to take the cabinets and empty them. I need to empty the cabinets and get them out of here. Disconnect the air lines up top and take the air dryer off. I guess you can call this like a mock-up before paint. Because I guess we're gonna go ahead and put the overhead crane in. We've got a 40 by 25 overhead crane. We're gonna go ahead and just do it. Why we didn't do it at the beginning? Well, so what? We didn't. We had other fish to fry. But now that we've got all this, and none of that's permanent. None of that's attached to the ground. It's all just sitting there. Remember in the previous videos I said that it's structurally, it's code for a tarp inside with no rain on it. Oh yeah, it's perfectly code for that. It'll work. But anything else on top, yeah, it's not good for that. So why that matters is because we can just pop, there's only like 4 screws holding the whole thing to the building. So pull the screws out, take that stuff off, get all this out of here, get everything completely gone where there's nothing left. And then put the overhead crane. Now I'm debating on where to put it at. 40 foot is right there. Up, let's see, that one, up, over to here. So we can either run it off the side right there and just have some legs going across and have the 2 40-foot runners here and there with, now my bridge going across the crane is 25 feet. We don't have 25 feet here. If we run the 40-footers here and here, we only have 15 feet. So I would have to cut one side of the bridge and make it 15 feet so that it could do the entire 40 foot by 15 foot. And then we would be back to one lift point, but it would be overhead crane style, go anywhere with it. Kind of like that. Lift up the VR10, pick up things that you want to pick up around the shop, you know, no matter where it's at. The other option that I was just considering, which kind of kills our headspace if you need to have a camper in here, but I would really love to not have to cut the crane at all. Now with that said, we could come off the side here with the 40 foot. I have one 40-foot beam, we could put it right here. Attached to the wall, the bridge is now rolling over here. Problem would be if we pull something in real long, the bridge would not be removable, right? It would come over here to the stop and end, and then it would be whatever height it is so that, you know, big trailer, whatever, would clear here up to here. That might kill the double stacker fitting in here if we ever want to bring it in. But we would not be able to have a trailer here while we're using the crane in the machine shop. So that's a downside, but the upside to that is then we would have an overhead crane for this entire bay. And then it would go 25 feet over, which would be 5 feet shy of the edge of the building. It would kill us for Class 8 heads on this. We would have to move the guidance seat in a little bit, maybe. Get it moved in so that wherever the crane would go, I mean, we might be able to fixture something up because we're going to be 5 feet from the wall. So it's, well, let's look. Oh, broken tape. That's right here. Pretty much 5 foot. So we would lose 5 foot. I really hate blocking that permanently by having the bridge go across, but we wouldn't have the runners though. At least we could move the bridge away from the door over to the end if we wanted to pull something in. Just don't know it. If we had to pull something in permanent, we would just have to take the skid steer or something and pick the bridge up off of the crane, which it's not attached anyways. You just pick it up. You just pick it up, turn it sideways and lower it down, and then we can pull in something big. That kind of sucks. Doable though. And then we don't have to cut the frame. We don't have to cut anything. Then we just put the crane in.